The story opens in a vast, rugged landscape of the American Southwest where rocky cliffs meet dense forests and open plains. The sun beats down mercilessly, casting long shadows over the arid terrain. The atmosphere is tense, carrying the scent of dust and the distant sound of hooves pounding against the earth. It is in this harsh environment that our heroine finds herself, a young woman with striking features and unyielding determination. She is not an ordinary bystander. She has a strong will and an unshakable sense of duty. At this moment, she is protecting a small child, the son of a respected Apache warrior. The boy is unaware of the danger looming around them, playing innocently near the riverbank, his laughter a stark contrast to the looming threat. Her eyes dart back and forth, scanning for any sign of intruders. The woman's body language communicates readiness. Her stance is defensive yet graceful, her every movement calculated to shield the boy from harm. Her courage is remarkable, given that she is facing men who are armed, experienced, and deadly. The Apache warrior, unaware of her presence at first, approaches from the distance. He is a commanding figure, tall, strong, with eyes that have seen countless battles and losses. His armor and weaponry are emblematic of his status, but there is a rugged humanity in the way he moves through the terrain, a connection to the land and its rhythms. As he nears, he notices the young woman standing firm, a shield of determination between danger and his child. He observes silently, assessing her intentions and capabilities. The tension of the moment is palpable. The adversaries surrounding them are closing in, unaware that the young woman has taken a position to protect the boy. Her skill becomes evident as she uses the environment to her advantage, diverting rocks, setting subtle traps, and using the terrain to create a buffer between the child and danger. Every action she takes is instinctive yet precise, demonstrating intelligence, courage, and adaptability. This is a pivotal moment in her character development. It establishes her not merely as someone who is brave, but as someone capable of strategic thinking under pressure. The Apache warrior's perspective adds depth to the scene. He has seen many people, men and women, face threats, yet few have displayed this combination of bravery and tactical mind. Initially, he feels a surge of suspicion. How did this woman come to be here? Why is she defending his child? Yet as he watches her, awe begins to replace doubt. Her presence is not an intrusion but a safeguard. In this first encounter, the warrior is drawn to her courage, a quality he values above all else in his people. In these moments, the story also explores the dynamic of trust. The warrior is cautious, aware of potential threats, yet he cannot ignore the protective instinct the woman displays. He sees in her actions a reflection of his own values: loyalty, bravery, and the instinct to protect loved ones at all costs. This connection, though silent and unspoken in the opening scene, becomes the seed of their eventual partnership. The natural world around them amplifies the stakes. The harsh wind carries the tension, rustling through dry grasses and echoing against the cliffs. Shadows lengthen, making the environment appear more menacing. The woman's ability to navigate this terrain while maintaining her vigilance speaks to her resourcefulness and adaptability. She is not just physically capable. She demonstrates emotional resilience, remaining calm despite the encroaching danger. Finally, the outline closes with a moment of recognition. The Apache warrior, having observed her bravery and skill, decides to step forward. He does not immediately confront her with suspicion or hostility. Instead, there is a silent acknowledgement of her worth. Her courage has earned his attention and respect. The tension breaks not with violence, but with understanding. He sees that she is a protector, a potential ally, and someone who could walk alongside him in ways few could. This moment sets the foundation for the unfolding story, where their paths will intertwine in unexpected ways. built upon the trust forged in this initial encounter. Through this outline, readers are introduced to the heroine's defining traits: courage, intelligence, and a deep sense of responsibility. At the same time, the Apache warrior is established as observant, discerning, and valuing strength and loyalty in others. Their first meeting is charged with tension, admiration, and the unspoken beginnings of a bond that will shape the narrative. The scene is vivid, immersive, and emotionally resonant, setting a strong tone for the story's development. The story continues immediately after the tense encounter described in Outline 1. The sun has begun its descent, casting golden hues over the plains and cliffs, creating a natural stage for a pivotal moment of decision. The Apache warrior steps closer to the young woman, his presence commanding but non-threatening. Every step he takes is deliberate, conveying authority and calm. There is no hostility in his eyes, only a quiet acknowledgement of her courage and an unspoken question. Will she walk beside him, or will she remain alone in the uncertain wilds? The young woman, still catching her breath from the adrenaline of protecting the boy, senses the weight of this moment. She is wary, unsure of the warrior's intentions, yet she cannot deny the profound relief that comes from his protective presence. Her life until now has been shaped by independence and survival, often in isolation or under threat. Yet, for the first time, she encounters someone whose strength is not only physical, but also moral and protective. A person whose power she respects and whose judgment she feels drawn to trust. The warrior speaks, the words that will change the course of her life. "You walk with me now." These words are simple, yet heavy with meaning. They are not merely an invitation to travel. They are an offer of inclusion, respect, and protection. He is offering her a place within his world, a life that promises both challenges and opportunities far beyond the dangers she has faced alone. In that moment, the young woman experiences a mixture of awe, apprehension, and curiosity. Her initial reaction is one of hesitation. The life she knows is familiar, if dangerous, and she fears losing herself in a world that is completely foreign. She has always relied on her instincts, her knowledge of the land, and her own strength to survive. The warrior's world, his people, his customs, and his expectations represent both safety and the unknown. She wonders whether she can truly belong here, whether her skills and courage will be enough, and whether she can trust someone so different from herself. The narrative delves into her internal struggle, exploring themes of trust and self-discovery. She reflects on the danger she just faced, the boy she protected, and the quiet strength of the warrior who observed her. She realizes that her bravery, which once served only her survival and the protection of the boy, could now become part of a larger purpose. The decision to walk with the warrior is not taken lightly. It is a conscious choice to step into uncertainty for the possibility of connection, safety, and growth. From the warrior's perspective, this moment is also crucial. He is used to assessing threats, reading people's intentions, and protecting his family above all else. He sees in her more than just bravery. He recognizes resilience, intelligence, and a capacity for loyalty. By inviting her to walk with him, he is making a rare gesture of inclusion, offering trust without full knowledge of her past. This is a test, not of her strength, but of her willingness to adapt, to honor the bonds of trust, and to become part of his life and the life of his people. As they begin their journey together, the narrative introduces the challenges of cultural transition. The young woman observes the customs, language, and social dynamics of the Apache people. She is awed by their connection to the land, their disciplined approach to survival, and their strong sense of community. Yet she also struggles with feelings of inadequacy, unsure of how her previous experiences and worldview will fit into this new context. The warrior guides her patiently, showing her small but significant ways to participate and contribute. Through these interactions, their bond deepens, built on respect, mentorship, and the subtle recognition of shared values. The outline emphasizes the development of trust between the two characters. Walking together is symbolic of their journey, both literal and metaphorical. It signifies the first steps toward partnership, understanding, and the formation of a bond that transcends words. They face small challenges along the way, crossing difficult terrain, avoiding predators, and navigating the complexities of human interaction in a culture unfamiliar to her. Each obstacle becomes an opportunity for mutual learning, respect, and gradual integration. The natural world continues to play a vital role in the narrative. As they traverse forests, rivers, and rocky plains, the landscape reflects the emotional and psychological journey of the young woman. The harshness of the terrain mirrors the challenges she faces, while moments of breathtaking beauty, the golden light of sunset, the serenity of a quiet river highlight her growing sense of wonder, hope, and connection. The warrior acts as both guide and protector, showing her the intricate balance between respect for nature and practical survival, further illustrating the depth of his character and his care for those under his protection. By the end of this outline, the young woman has taken her first steps into a new life, one where courage, intelligence, and trust define her role. She is no longer merely a protector acting alone. She is now part of a partnership, walking beside someone who values her not for who she was, but for what she can contribute and who she can become. The phrase, "You walk with me now," resonates as both an invitation and a declaration, a promise of shared purpose, protection, and the forging of a bond that will shape the events to come. This outline establishes the emotional and relational core of the story. It highlights the transition from fear and uncertainty to cautious trust, the blending of cultures, and the initial formation of a partnership that is equal parts respect, admiration, and emerging connection. Through vivid descriptions, internal reflections, and the interplay of character perspectives, readers gain a deep understanding of the stakes, emotions, and dynamics that will drive the story forward. Having taken the pivotal step of walking with the Apache warrior, the young woman enters a world that is as beautiful as it is demanding. The Apache life is intertwined with the rhythms of nature, requiring both physical endurance and mental acuity. Every day presents new challenges: hunting for food, understanding the land's subtle signs, learning the complex network of social relations, and absorbing the values and traditions that define the warrior's people. For someone who has lived largely independent and isolated, these demands are overwhelming at first. But they also offer a profound opportunity for growth. The narrative begins with her observing the Apache village from a distance, taking note of its organization, the communal activities, and the harmonious interaction with the environment. She is struck by the difference between her solitary existence and the interconnectedness of the tribe. The people respect her initial hesitation, understanding that she is an outsider in transition. The warrior guides her patiently, demonstrating daily rituals such as how to track animals, gather edible plants, and maintain a fire in the wilderness. Each lesson, though practical, is also imbued with cultural significance, teaching her values of patience, respect, and responsibility. Her adaptation is not smooth. She experiences moments of doubt and fear. A failed attempt to track a deer leaves her exhausted and frustrated. A misunderstanding with one of the tribal members creates tension, highlighting her unfamiliarity with social cues. She wrestles internally with the fear that she may never truly belong, and that the warrior's trust in her might have been misplaced. These internal struggles are crucial, as they humanize her character and demonstrate that courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to persevere despite it. the warrior plays a critical role in her adaptation. He does not simply instruct. He observes, advises, and models the behavior he expects. He demonstrates techniques for stealth and defense, explains the logic behind each hunting method, and tells stories that embed moral lessons and cultural history. Through these interactions, she begins to understand the depth of his knowledge and the values that shape him. She admires his balance of strength and compassion, his ability to command respect without relying solely on fear, and his unwavering commitment to protecting his people. Gradually, she starts to mirror his behaviors, not out of obedience, but out of genuine admiration and a desire to become worthy of the trust he has placed in her. One of the most important trials she faces involves protecting the Chew and the warrior's son during a small but dangerous hunting trip. A sudden threat, a wild animal, or a hostile intruder tests her ability to apply what she has learned under pressure. She must rely not only on physical skill but also on her judgment and courage. The tension of this scene highlights her growth. She moves with precision, adapts quickly to changing circumstances, and acts decisively to ensure the child's safety. This event solidifies her position within the tribe and earns her genuine respect from the warrior and other members of the Apache community. The narrative also explores her emotional adaptation. She grapples with the grief and fear of leaving her past life behind while forming bonds with the warrior and his people. Moments of reflection by a campfire or under a starry sky reveal her growing appreciation for the Apache worldview, their reverence for nature, their sense of community, and their understanding of honor and loyalty. She begins to internalize these values, not as a replacement for her own identity, but as an enrichment, expanding her sense of self and purpose. Through these trials, the story develops the relationship between the young woman and the warrior. Their interactions move beyond mere instruction. They become a dialogue of mutual respect. He recognizes her determination and intellect, while she learns to trust his judgment and rely on his guidance. This evolving dynamic lays the groundwork for deeper emotional connection, but it is built carefully on shared experiences, trust earned through action, and respect for each other's strengths. The outline also emphasizes the importance of small victories in adaptation. Each successful hunt, each task completed correctly, each moment where she demonstrates courage and resourcefulness contributes to her confidence and integration. The warrior observes these milestones, occasionally offering a rare, approving smile, a gesture that holds immense significance for her. These moments of recognition strengthen her resolve and reinforce her sense of belonging. By the end of this outline, the young woman has transformed significantly. She is no longer an outsider who merely walks alongside the warrior. She has become an active participant in the life of the tribe. Her bravery is now complemented by skill, her independence is tempered by cooperation, and her courage is guided by knowledge. She understands the nuances of the Apache way of life, respects the values it embodies, and has proven herself capable of protecting those she has come to care about. This phase of the story establishes a foundation for future challenges, deepening the narrative tension and character development. It demonstrates that courage alone is not enough. Adaptation, learning, and humility are essential components of survival and respect within the warrior's world. The young woman's journey through trials and learning experiences prepares her for the more profound tests of loyalty, love, and self-discovery that lie ahead. The reader sees her growth vividly, from fear and uncertainty to competence, confidence, and acceptance. She earns the warrior's admiration not through conquest or words, but through consistent, courageous action and a willingness to embrace a new way of life. Her journey in this outline exemplifies resilience, adaptability, and the transformative power of trust and mentorship in shaping character. With her growing competence and acceptance among the Apache, the young woman moves beyond the role of a cautious outsider. She has learned the tribe's customs, earned the respect of the warrior's son, and demonstrated her courage in moments of danger. These achievements, however, are only the foundation for a deeper, more complex relationship that is beginning to form with the Apache warrior. This stage of the story emphasizes the emotional dimensions of trust, respect, and the subtle beginnings of intimacy. The narrative portrays everyday life in the tribe as a backdrop for this evolving bond. They hunt together, share knowledge of the land, and navigate the complexities of the wilderness. In these shared moments, small details become significant: how he teaches her to read animal tracks with patience, how she instinctively notices patterns he overlooks, and the unspoken understanding that grows between them as they move through the landscape. Each action, glance, or gesture communicates respect and appreciation without the need for words. The warrior's perspective deepens here. He has always valued strength, courage, and intelligence in others, but he is struck by the young woman's resilience, her unwavering loyalty to his son, and her capacity to adapt. He observes how she faces challenges not only with skill, but with empathy and thoughtfulness, qualities that resonate deeply with him. He begins to recognize that his admiration for her is not solely professional or paternal. It is personal. Yet, he exercises caution, aware of the delicacy of emotions in a world where trust is hard-earned and betrayal can be fatal. The young woman, in turn, experiences a growing sense of connection and security with the warrior. Her initial fear and uncertainty have given way to appreciation for his strength, guidance, and protective instincts. She is drawn to his quiet authority and the way he balances fierceness with compassion. She begins to notice the subtle aspects of his character, the care with which he interacts with his child, the way he respects the land, the moments when his guard is lowered in private. These observations deepen her understanding of him, transforming respect and gratitude into something more profound, a budding affection that she cautiously acknowledges, even if she does not yet fully understand it. The outline emphasizes the importance of shared experiences in strengthening their bond. They face small but meaningful challenges together, navigating treacherous terrain, surviving sudden storms, and confronting external threats. In each instance, they rely on one another's strengths and instincts, building mutual confidence and reinforcing the sense that they are stronger together than apart. Their partnership is not forced. It develops naturally, rooted in trust and shared responsibility. Subtle interactions provide key emotional depth. Perhaps he saves her from a fall or guides her safely through a dangerous area, and in those moments, their eyes meet with unspoken recognition. Maybe she shares a personal story of her past, revealing vulnerability, and he listens without judgment, offering quiet understanding. These moments create an emotional intimacy that complements the physical and practical aspects of their relationship, showing that true connection is built not just on survival but on empathy, respect, and shared humanity. The narrative also explores tension and uncertainty. Both characters are aware of their growing feelings but must navigate them carefully. The warrior's role as protector and leader, coupled with cultural norms and personal responsibility, requires restraint. The young woman, still adapting to her new life, experiences confusion and hesitation, wondering if her feelings are reciprocated or if they are appropriate given her position in his world. This tension enriches the narrative, making their eventual closeness more compelling and realistic. The warrior teaches her lessons not only in survival but also in wisdom and perspective. He imparts stories of past battles, the importance of honor, and the value of foresight. She absorbs these lessons, applying them not just in practical situations, but in her interactions with him and the tribe. Through these teachings, she begins to understand the depth of his character and the principles that guide his life. This mutual exchange of knowledge and understanding solidifies their connection and establishes a foundation for deeper emotional intimacy. An important symbolic moment occurs during a quiet evening, perhaps by a fire or under a star-filled sky. They share silence that is comfortable, punctuated by small gestures of trust, a hand resting briefly on another, shared laughter, or the protective instinct shown toward his son. These subtle interactions convey the evolving bond, the balance of admiration, respect, and emotional closeness. The young woman recognizes that her feelings have grown beyond respect. She feels a sense of belonging, safety, and connection that she has never experienced before. By the end of this outline, the young woman and the Apache warrior have formed a bond that is multidimensional. It is practical, emotional, and slowly developing into a deeper affection. Trust is firmly established, respect is mutual, and the seeds of love are quietly sown, nurtured by shared experiences, challenges, and the understanding of one another's strengths and vulnerabilities. They are no longer simply protector and charge, or teacher and student. They are partners in life, bound by courage, loyalty, and the gradual emergence of emotional intimacy. This outline sets the stage for the story's climax, emphasizing that true bonds are forged through shared trials, mutual respect, and the willingness to open one's heart while maintaining strength and courage. It highlights the subtle, gradual development of connection, preparing the reader for the transformative moments to come when their trust and loyalty will be tested on the highest emotional level. After establishing her role within the Apache community and forming a deep connection with the warrior, the young woman faces her ultimate test. This climactic sequence is both external and internal. External in the form of danger that threatens the tribe or the warrior's son, and internal in her struggle to fully embrace her courage, skills, and feelings for the warrior. The narrative builds tension by presenting a threat that challenges everything she has learned and forces her to rely not just on survival skills, but on trust, judgment, and the bond she shares with the warrior. The story begins with a sudden, high-stakes danger, perhaps rival warriors encroaching on their territory, a natural disaster, or an ambush by hostile forces. The setting amplifies the urgency. Jagged cliffs, dense forests, and the unpredictable elements of nature create a dramatic stage for the events to unfold. The young woman must act quickly, drawing on everything she has learned since joining the Apache. Her instincts, tactical skills, and knowledge of the land are pushed to their limits. She moves with a combination of precision and intuition, protecting the warrior's son while navigating the perilous terrain. The Apache warrior, observing her actions, is both impressed and reassured. He sees that she has grown from a brave outsider into a competent, courageous partner. He relies on her judgment, coordinating with her silently as they respond to the threat. Their prior training together, shared experiences, and growing emotional bond allow them to act almost instinctively as a unit. This cooperation underscores the depth of their relationship, and that underscores the depth of their relationship, and that this cooperationship and that mutual respect that has developed over time. As the climax unfolds, the young woman faces a pivotal decision. A moment arises where she must choose between personal safety and the well-being of the child or the tribe. Her choice reflects the values she has internalized: courage, loyalty, and responsibility. The tension is heightened because the stakes are immense. Failure could mean loss or serious harm, but she does not hesitate. Her actions demonstrate the full maturation of her character: bravery tempered by wisdom, independence balanced with cooperation, and compassion intertwined with decisiveness. The warrior's perspective enriches this sequence. He experiences both relief and pride, seeing the young woman act with skill, courage, and selflessness. This moment solidifies his admiration and deepens the emotional bond that has been gradually forming. He recognizes that she is no longer just a companion. She is an equal, a partner in life and in the defense of those they care about. His trust in her is absolute, and this shared reliance creates a profound sense of unity between them. In the aftermath of the external threat, the story shifts to the emotional resolution. The young woman and the warrior reflect on the events and their journey together. This reflection allows for introspection and acknowledgement of the deep bond they share. She realizes that she has found not only safety and belonging but also love, respect, and purpose in a world that once seemed foreign and intimidating. The warrior, in turn, openly recognizes her bravery, intelligence, and loyalty, affirming her importance to him and his family. The narrative emphasizes the transformative effect of her experiences. She has grown from a courageous but uncertain outsider into a confident, skilled, and respected member of the tribe. Her relationship with the warrior has evolved from mutual recognition to trust, respect, and love. The Apache community has come to value her not merely for her actions during crises, but for her consistent courage, adaptability, and loyalty. This integration represents both social and emotional fulfillment, providing a satisfying resolution for her character arc. A symbolic moment underscores the resolution. Perhaps the warrior places a hand on hers, or gestures for her to walk beside him as they survey the land together. The phrase, "You walk with me now," first spoken at the beginning of their journey, resonates anew, this time fully realized. She is no longer just walking into the unknown. She walks with purpose, strength, and belonging, fully embraced by the warrior and the tribe. The story concludes with a sense of balance and harmony. The external threat has passed, her bond with the warrior has been solidified, and her personal growth is evident. She has learned that courage is not just about facing danger alone, but about trusting others, embracing connection, and committing fully to shared responsibilities. The resolution highlights the themes of loyalty, trust, partnership, and transformation, leaving the reader with the understanding that true strength comes from courage combined with wisdom, and love flourishes where respect and trust are nurtured. Through this final outline, the narrative arc is complete. The young woman's journey from isolated protector to integrated, respected, and beloved partner is fully realized. Her evolution is marked by trials, learning, shared experiences, and deepening emotional bonds, culminating in a life-transformed one defined by connection, courage, and love. The Apache warrior's presence is central throughout, serving as mentor, protector, and eventually equal partner, embodying the narrative's themes of trust, respect, and enduring human connection.